Hey there, YouTube. In front of us is the yard machines. Let's take a look at the carburetor. Take a look at the gas. See if there's any dirt in either of them. And see if we can get this to start and stay running. Let's get this air filter cover off. It's a 5/16 bolt. I'm also going to take off the cover, 2 Phillips head screws, and 3 5/16 bolts that hold the air filter housing onto the carburetor. So we'll get these out. And I apologize for the lighting. But the days are getting shorter on me. Wow, look at that. Even has a fuel filter. I was not expecting that on such a cheap lawnmower. Next, I'm going to loosen the bolt for the auto choke. It's 1/4 inch. I'm going to clamp off the fuel line. Move the clamp. Get that off. And there are 2 bolts in the back holding the carburetor on. They're 3/8. And both bolts are out. Disconnect the throttle linkage, and there is our carburetor. Let's get the carb cleaner and open this baby up. So off camera I sprayed off the outside of this carburetor. Let's crack it open. The jet doesn't look too bad. The bowl looks pretty good. Take out the needle, float, and that looks pretty good too. The gas looks a little cloudy and hazy to me. I might get a sample of it out of the tank here. I took a little gas out of the tank, and I know it's dark out, so you might have to take my word for it, but the gas is dark. So I wonder if this just has old stale gas in it. I think I'm going to drain everything out of the tank, and then we will, since it's apart, we'll clean the carburetor and put fresh gas back in it. I'm draining the gas tank. Now that the tank is empty, let's clean the carburetor. So for the jet, we'll take our little wiggly wire, if you can see that, and I'm going to run that through the holes. And then we'll spray carb cleaner through it. So that should be ready to go. And the needle and bowl look fine. Just give it a quick spray off. And I believe everything is clean, and it's time to reassemble. I've turned around and faced the garage because it's getting too dark. In front of us is the carburetor, squeaky clean. I'm going to take the float, put in the needle, like that. And we'll put this back in like that. I'll take the pin, put that in, and there we go. Here's our gasket, bowl gasket, put that back on. Take our bowl, put it back on. There, that should work. Looks like the gasket pretty well sealed all the way around. Take our bowl jet, carburetor is back together. And when I blow air into the gasoline intake, when it's like this, I can blow in it. When I turn it upside down, I can't. So that tells me that the needle and seat should be sealing inside of here. So let's put it back on the lawnmower and see if it starts. Okay, I grabbed a lamp from the basement. Bear with me. We're going to now put the carburetor back on the lawnmower. Reconnect the throttle linkage. I will reconnect fuel line. And we will bolt it back on with the two 3/8" bolts. So we'll get that back on. The carburetor is back on. Move the fuel line clamp back over. Remove my locking pliers. Now let's reconnect the auto choke. This nub needs to fit inside of this little slot on the carburetor. Like that. We'll tighten down that bolt. It's 1/4 inch. Don't over tighten it, it's just aluminum. You'll strip it. Now we'll put back on the air filter housing and the 3 5/16 bolts. And I'm sure my arm is blocking the light a little bit. There, that's better. So we'll get those bolts tightened down. Air filter housing is back on. Auto choke is working. Throttle linkage is working. Put back on the air filter and the cover. And that also is a 5/16. Put the cover back on, put the 2 Phillips screws back in there. We'll put some gas in it, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. We put a little gas in the tank. I'm just looking for leaks. Everything looks dry. Let's see if it starts. Here we go. Starting the lawnmower in the dark using a lamp from the basement. See if it starts hot. I believe she's fixed. So there you go, folks. If your lawnmower refuses to start, and if it doesn't have a primer button on it, if it's a auto choke like this one, take a look at the carburetor, check the gas, try to give it all a good cleaning. Get rid of the gas if it's old and looks milky, and you can probably get your lawnmower running again too. Thanks for hanging out with me in the dark. We'll see you next time. We'll do a follow-up video and we'll give this a tune-up. Thanks for watching.